With watercolor, I'm going to give you a little demonstration on how you can paint grass with what I call an elastic bundle. This is something that I used in one of my acrylic paintings. I used it afterwards in oil. You can use it in pencil art. I'm going to show you how to do grass. With watercolor, generally before I start painting, I like to just take a spray bottle of water and slightly wet the paint so that I'm not gouging out lumps of paint. And I'm going to just give a light spray on my piece of watercolor paper here. Now, with watercolor, I like to use a sap green for my grass, and to take the neon out of it, I will use a little bit of burnt sienna. And you can just put some paint on your paper. And I'm going to let that dry a wee bit. And while I'm letting that dry, I'm going to do an orange. Something simple. It's more for demonstration purposes than anything else. So this isn't quite dry, and that's going to be fine, because with watercolor I like to sometimes have my water being soft and not quite so intense in clarity. I have several of these bundles here. I'm going to take now some stronger green and just dab the bundle into the paint, starting at the back, because you want the grass to be growing closer to the front of you. So to make it easier, turn my page upside down, and I'll just draw the two varying tones of green and burnt sienna through the wet paint. And when I want the color stronger, then I can add maybe a little bit of blue to it as I'm coming closer, because as you get closer, the color is stronger. And rather than just doing cookie cutter, twist it a wee bit so that you're getting a variation of the different grades of the bundle of elastics. And a little bit of something darker in here, a little bit of orange in there. And by starting or having your colors at the bottom first, you're going to have the stronger colors closer to you, which is a nice way to handle this. And not all the grass is perfectly straight. If you want to make it stronger yet, you can add some blue purple. And there you have a little bit of grass using my elastic bundle. Now for the orange, instead of having to do every little drop with your brush of the texture of the orange rind, you do the same thing with your elastic bundle, but do twist it a little wee bit. If it's too wet, dry it a wee bit first. And you can see, you can very quickly get that orange rind look. You can add different colors to make it better. You can make it more shadowy. A little burnt sienna again on the underside, and use your blue for the complementary color for the shadow side of the orange, the underside, and you can use yellow more for the highlights. Now I could spend a little more time doing that, but that's basically what your elastic bundle can do for me. And you're wondering, how do I make an elastic bundle? You just take a group of elastics, I'd say 10 or 12, and the secret for this working is to make sure that your elastics are the small square. They're square elastics and they're not big. The big flat ones won't work. And take this and wrap it around with another elastic band until you get the middle of this as tight as possible. And I start with it doubled to begin with. It saves some time. And when you've got that feeling extremely tight, that's when you can take some white glue. And what I want you to do with this is go all the way around the elastic so that The outer elastic will not break with use, and you let that then dry. And I just hang it somewhere to dry, making sure that there's a lot of white glue on there. Now this is wood glue or painter's glue. Give it a little bit of a pull, and then you just let that dry. I'll hang it on here to dry. Once that's dry, there is no give in here. Then you take either the painter's masking tape or white or the off-white masking tape, whatever you happen to have available, and you go around this, pulling it as tight as you can. After that, it's a pair of scissors, and what you want to do is you want to cut this off square, and the same at the other end. And you're ready to go. Now, as I said, you can use this with graphite. You can put the graphite on there and use your graphite onto your sketching pad. You can do it with acrylic, and you can do it with oil. Also note that this works really well if you want to put fur on an animal. You just pick up the gray tones, and because the fur all comes down, you start at the bottom of whatever you're doing, and then you quickly go up the animal. And there is what fur on an animal would look like. I'm Roxanne Jervis, so thank you for watching, and please subscribe, share, and make comments down below. Thank you very much. Have a great day. See you soon.